What do you say, baseball fans? Rye Bread talking baseball, episode 54. Recovering from a Memorial Day here. We had a good one. Rays win a big game in New York, 3-1. And they're as hot as they can be with Glasnow going again tonight. It's Domingo Germán for the Yanks, but we're going to deep dive it a little bit. We watched the A's and Mariners game, and the Mariners were playing like this early in the season. And when they play like they played yesterday, that's why they were good. They've won 5 in a row now. Logan Gilbert, the young pitcher for Seattle, looking good. That was a fun game. And man, the A's are just, they're good. Man, I like the A's. Giants win again. Guess who's back in first place out there in the NL West? And like we said yesterday, the NL West is basically the National League right now. Those teams just keep winning games. My goodness. Giants win. It's their 4th in a row now. So that gives them a half-game lead. Padres have cooled off a little bit, but, I mean, they had to at some point. It only gets so hot. I was looking at Tatis Jr.'s numbers. He lost some of those ABs when he was out on the COVID thing, so he doesn't qualify for some of the categories. OPS, for example, but man, his OPS is over 1,000 still. He's just a dynamic player, stealing bases. Amazing player. But that led me into this WAR stat line. And I noticed who's sitting on top. It's Max Muncy with a 3.3 WAR. The guy is on fire. The guy's playing over his skis. He's amazing. I shouldn't say over his skis because he's been good for a long time and he's a tough out. I take that back. I didn't expect him to be 3.3 WAR a third of the way through the season, but man, he's good. But the other leaders in WAR stood out. It's Muncy at 3.3, and then it settles in 2.8 down to 2.6. Semien, Adolis Garcia, Kiner-Falefa, and Buxton's in there, but he's injured, so we left him out. And then the next one up is Castellanos. So that's not who you'd expect to see at the top of the WAR leaderboard. It just simply isn't if you were taking a poll on April 1, who you expected to see. Texas Rangers with 2 guys in the top 5. What's going on out there, Texas? We were thinking about taking old Dane tonight against Marquez. But I'm putting it down for a day. We won both yesterday and in a big way. It was fun. So I'm just going to take a step back. I'm going to put it down. And we'll get back into it tomorrow because I want to make sure I spend enough time for my giveaways. But back to this WAR discussion. It's Muncy, Semien, Adolis Garcia, Kiner-Falefa, Castellanos in the WAR leaderboard right now. Not what you'd expect to see, I don't think. And definitely not 2 Texas players in the top 5 in WAR. That's a shock because coming into the season, Texas was everybody's pick for the basement. They've played better than a lot of people had them, I believe. I like watching Texas, frankly. They're a fun team to watch also. Obviously, it's a tough division, and we've got the A's and the Astros out there doing work. Because those Astros did us right. We've been talking up the Astros all year, and they explode yesterday. Urquidy goes Urquidy. He doesn't blow anybody away, but man, he was effective again. It's just 0 after 0. You look up there, all of a sudden, you're losing. And in this case, they were losing by a lot. Speaking of teams with the top 15 WAR, there's at least 3 Boston players. JD, Xander, and Devers. All up there. I don't know if it's the top 15. But getting back to the Rays, I want to start there. That Porch that gave Meadows that extra home run, it's kind of weird. When it works in your favor, you almost feel dirty about it, that short porch home run at Yankee Stadium. It's kind of, I don't know, I would have liked to see him push that back a touch, but it adds a little zest to the games. But these Yankee guys that are hitting those home runs out to left field there, it's just that one that Meadows hit. That was a pop fly. That was a warning track pop fly. And only out of Yankee Stadium. But you win it, you lose it out there with that. The Yankees get as much help with that Porch as anybody. They got those big guys going oppo out there to that. I think it's 315, 314. I think it was my high school yard. It's a really short right field. So on top of that, the catchers for the Rays, we double-checked this from yesterday. Zunino leads all catchers in home runs, and then when you factor in the production of Mejia, they lead in RBI as well. They have been better than expected. I expect to see Zunino behind the plate catching Glasnow tonight, because when Glasnow had those kind of rough upsies, it was Mejia, and they were kind of struggling a bit. So I expect to see Zunino back there against the Yankees. Now, Domingo Germán is no slouch himself. Don't count yourself short. You're a tremendous slouch. Don't sell yourself short, excuse me. Germán's been great for the Yankees this year on the whole. The lefty bats, I expect to see hometown hero Brett Phillips in the lineup. And depending on how the game goes, for this giveaway, you can choose the hometown hero Brett Phillips card if you like. But I want to know hometown hero Brett Phillips stat line in the comments. And if you choose to do so, you will win hometown hero Brett Phillips in a Kansas City Royals uni. And then your choice of Heritage Topps Tommy Pham from this year. This is true here. Just give me Brett Phillips stat line in the comments. Trey Turner, team pack from this year. Dave Parker, 1990 Topps. I know you love it. And then a 1990 Jim Clancy. There's a fantastic mustache in there. It's a Donruss 90, and it's got a fantastic mustache. And then if you want this Upper Deck Jamie Moyer, I mean, the guy pitched forever. I know he's got kind of a cult following. Moyer. Those lefties. So, it's hometown Brett Phillips Day here. We want a big one from hometown hero Brett Phillips with the righty on the mound today in the Bronx. I expect to see maybe a Rosarena at DH. Margot's going to sit to start. You'll get Kiermaier in center. Phillips in right. Meadows in left. And then G-Man, Lau, Walls. And then I would imagine it would be Brasso at third just to get him in there and the Yankees and whatnot, with Zunino behind the plate and Randy DH and probably. That's how I see it shaking out. So we should see some Brett Phillips tonight. Put the stat line of Brett Phillips in the comments or get at me on Twitter or wherever you want to find me, and we will get you hometown hero Brett Phillips along with that lovely assortment once again. Don't forget, you got Moyer, Clancy, Parker. This new Heritage Topps Tommy Pham is actually a pretty good card. And then this Trey Turner is from a team set, but it's still, Trey Turner's awesome. So, up to you, hometown hero Brett Phillips Day. And if Brett Phillips hits a bomb, we'll throw in an extra card. I want to start talking cards more on the show, so if you want to put that in the comments, please do so. Let's get back to the Giants. I saw that Longo left with side tightness or soreness or something like that. I hope that's not an oblique or something, because he's just crushing. Another bomb for Longo. Every time Longo hits a home run, it's better. I expect the Giants to win again tonight. Heaney's not been good, but the Angels are sticking it in my face, because here we are at June 1st. I thought the Angels would be 10 back. They're 5.5 back. They've gained 2 games in the standings since Trout went on the IL. That's not what I expected to see happen. They've stayed afloat. But now it's 2 against the Giants. And Wood going for the Giants. I expect the Giants to win this game. After this, the schedule lightens up substantially for the Angels. Granted, Seattle they were playing a heck of a lot better last night as Gilbert kind of came into his own. Had a lot of bend in that slider, man. That thing was tight. And then Caprillion. I can't say enough about Caprillion. I love the changeup. That Mariners team, when they start to play like they were playing yesterday, that you can see why people are excited about that team and why I'm excited about that team. And Donovan Walton got his first career home run, a 3-run job. Congratulations, Donovan Walton. That was an exciting game. I watched that one all the way to the end. the A's defense stood out to me again in that game. They've got Gold Glovers at the corner, first and third. And it just seems to solidify that defense. They turned a beautiful, I think it was a 3-6-1 double play yesterday. It's just the defense, the hitting, the timeliness, the clutch. You can't count clutch. It doesn't exist. Well, I think it does when you're talking about the A's. But Mariners came up big last night, got a W. Like we said, now it's 5 in a row for the Mariners, and if they keep winning, it's going to be a tougher game for the Angels than they initially anticipated. Like I said, we're putting down the bets today. Don't forget, Joey Wendle is 13th in Major League Baseball in WAR right now. You didn't know how much you love Joey Wendle. Oh, I love it. We'll be back on watching Glasnow again tonight. And don't forget, put the Brett Phillips stat line in the comments or on Twitter. You'll win the Hometown Hero Brett Phillips Royals team card from 2020 and then one of the assortments that we talked about. Get at me on Twitter at RyeBread0844. Don't forget Bascom's Chop House, best steakhouse in the city there, Clearwater, Florida. And we have Fishtails of Homosassa. It's open. Go see them. Get some scallops down there in Homosassa. And then have a couple of booze drinks over at Fishtails. And if you're out in Philippines, of course, it's Bravo Beach Resort all the time. Take my word for it. We love you guys. We'll see you again tomorrow. We're going to do 162.